Right, hi guys, how we doing? Nice little trade there, just sent out into the members group. Uh, is everyone in? So let me know if you are in the live stream, guys. How's the sound? Hmm. Uh, guys, where's the chat? Ah, it's Simon. There you are. Peter, how we doing, guys? Well, lovely trade there. Absolutely beauty. If you're not in the members channel, it was a cracker. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the most of it. I was watching it, and I had to leave to get back in time because I was. Oh, Simon, I caught it. I was telling the guys in the channel because there's a few room talks about going long, and I was like, nah, I want to get short. Remember what the analysis was this morning? We were looking at buys are close above 32.49, so above here. Or we're going to look for BPC shorts with seller candle and continuation lower into daily support around 32.12. Well, look, this is where we're looking for price to come to this area. We're now at 32.03. So there's no more shorts for me. But if we look at the thought process of why we went in, now my short, my entry was just underneath this 15-minute seller candle here. Now, if we look what happened, price rotated higher back into old support. We gave a seller candle. The next candle was a buyer candle, pierced the highs, then closed back below this zone. The next candle again pierced the highs. So we were getting up range candles, but it was consolidating at this price point. So after this candle, I said in the members group, I said, right, M15 is looking beautiful now. Looking really, really nice. So sells had to go underneath this one here because you could have taken out the low of this and then gone higher. As soon as it pushed up on this candle here, I was like, oh, this could be an absolute belter. I did have extended targets just sat down here, just above 32.15. Unfortunately, as it moved down, I got about 15 pips, and because I was running back home to get back in time for this, I dragged the stop down on my phone and came down a little bit to just past break even. I was rushing. So I did miss out on a chunk of profit, but the main thing is members have absolutely nailed it. One members took 130 points, another one's took 68 points. Peter Almond, how did you finish up? Peter Cole was still in the trade. I'm not quite sure what the full details are, but it was an awesome trade. So that would have been uh, it for today. I mean, look, I mean when I say it for today, I've had the sell this morning. What was that on? Uh, here, this one. So we took sells this morning. Again, another BPC trade. Market came back up into structure. We saw a seller candle, next candle wicked up, inside candle, sell stop underneath the lows, again back down into structure. So I took that one. I didn't trade anything. Oh no, actually tell a lie. I was on a coaching session with Anna. We traded the sell here. We got Anna got 10 pips on this one. I got break even. Just because we hadn't pierced this area yet. So I just wanted to get to break even at 70% rule. I then traded, so I've had 4 trades today. I traded this one long because we came into the daily support zone. Now, one thing to remember is if you are trading in a contrarian fashion, meaning the market move has been predominantly to the downside. If you are Peter Cole, 150 pips, there you go, lovely jubbly. What a runner. Say thank you anytime. Not a problem, guys. So that's the beauty of being in the members channel. You get to see these little perks when they. Oh, she never learns, mum. Um, you get these little perks when they say, "Oh, I'll just share them." Merci beaucoup, pleasure. I want plenty of hearts and shares today, guys. Not often. 130 pips for Peter Armand. Now, what a day to start trading, eh, mate? Christen's his first day at home with a 130 pip trade, straight out the bat. Lovely jubbly. Oh God, look, Mum, it's 1 o'clock. She will learn. Congratulations, buddy. What more can we say apart from what a way to start? Well, if the first day is one to go by, then it could be could be a very good chapter. Um, right, so things to consider now. I mean, look, we're $80 down on the day, 2.4%. This that I'm saying and that I said this morning, 60 pips for Gandalf, nice one. Um, my analysis remains the same, which is the bias is going to remain short. Let's take a look and see if I want to adjust where we're going to buy above. Um, I'm just gonna let me just put save as. Uh, uh, it's gonna be random for that chart, so I can't really save it. I know what I'll do. Let's do that. Remove all drawings. Okay, that's worked. Okay, so this is what we were referring to yesterday. This zone in here. So when we look at this, there is an area in this little consolidation where price could stabilize, find support, and potentially start to have a little bit of a rally. Now, if we were to look at this on an even higher time frame, the weekly, what do you see, guys? What do you see on the weekly? What are we thinking, guys? Hey, Rich, how you doing? What are we seeing here on the weekly, guys? Come on. This should be pretty easy to spot. Which way is the trend? Which way is the trend, guys? Up or down? Up and pull back. Okay, so we are in what we call a correction phase right now. We've got an uptrend, and right now the weekly is printing a correction. How do we know that? We've broken the low. We had bearish candle for last week. We had a top wick formed, then we've broken the low. So right now we're printing a downrange candle and we're at the low of the candle at the minute. So from a short-term perspective, what should we only focus on? If we were thinking short-term, what do we want to focus on until what should be the first, what should we focus on? What type of trades? Long trades, short trades? No, Simon. Yes, Peter Almond. You're a day trader. So if the weekly is in a correction, we might have 2, 3, 4 weeks of a correction. So in theory, our bias has to remain to the short side. So bias is shorts, and we'll focus on BPC shorts, breakout shorts, until we get a change in structure. So let's look at the hourly. Now, as we look at this right now, we can see this market's come into this area that we were referring to. So shorts, what I would look for is price to rotate higher, create a seller candle, and continue moving lower. Now, if you want to look for a long, we need to see a little bit of a change in structure. We might, and that probably create maybe a bullish day. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to create a new uptrend or a continuation of the uptrend. It might just be one bullish day or two bullish days, which will be just a pullback on the weekly before it starts to continue low again. So if we're going to trade long, we need to look for a change in structure. And we're going to have to identify something that right now, structure, the first thing we can look for would probably be a break above this area. Until that point, any time where we currently sit, we'll look for BPC shorts and we'll look for breakout shorts as per the analysis this morning. Now, the buys, we're going to change that to 32, 23.25. So does that make sense, guys? Possible breakout on NAS. Yeah, probably. Yeah, looks good, Simon. This I'd be I'll trade this live actually on a momentum entry. So I've just gone in, literally just gone in. Let me just thanks Simon for pointing that out. I'm happy to trade momentum entry on this at this time of day. Let me change screen so you can see. There you go. I literally just bought as it broke those highs. So partial TP, let's chuck in. Oh, hold on. I know what's going to happen here. Calendar. Thursday. 1:30. I'm okay. So we've got unemployment claims at 1:30. There's 4,000. Okay, let's. So realistically, I probably messed up by about by about 3 pips. So entry should have been maybe about 3 pips, 3 pips lower than where I was. I'm gonna look for. I think what's that gonna be risk-wise? Yeah, that's fine. So underneath here, if it gets underneath here, I'm gonna close half, and then if we close bearish, I'll close it all. So all I'll do is I'll click on close half if we break that low. So again, it's low risk. It's nice tight stop on this one for NASDAQ. But markets are pretty buoyant. We've got plenty of upside space as well now because we've broken the wick. Next sort of daily structure point is up at 20,300. Now, I can't see myself getting all the way up there. And if you look at the daily chart, tell me what you see about today. Today's candle looks slightly different on here to what I see on Trading View. Let me show you on Trading View. What do you see on Trading View? Tell me what you see about the daily candle on the NASDQ. What do you see about the daily candle, guys? No bottom wick, exactly. So who's owning the market today? Who's owning that market? Yeah, buyers. Right, let's go back to the chart that means the business. So if I pop through this high on the 15, I'll do the same principle. So if I pop through the high, what I'm going to do is I'll close half of the trade if we break the 15-minute low. So, and then if we don't pop through the high, in fact, I'm going to 30. Yeah, I'm going to bring stops up underneath the 30-minute low. So we've got stops up underneath 30-minute low, reduce risk even further. So we've got effectively about 30 pips of risk. So with buyers in control, we're looking to continue that move with trend. We've seen price, if you look at it here, on the 30 was, never mind, I can't see it there. I'll have to move it across in a bit. We had a close above. Market, I wasn't buying the close above. I was buying the momentum entry above these highs. Little bit, yeah, probably about 3.5 pips off where I'd like to see my entry. So I'll tell you what I'll do. So that I'm going to sacrifice a few pips of profit. So I'm going to sacrifice 3 pips of profit for a not so efficient entry. So I want to see what happens with gold as well leading into COMEX. So we're going to leave this. I'm not trading gold right now. Gold's way too low in the gutter right now. We need it to do either a rotation higher or break out further even lower. So I'm quite happy to look at the NAS for now. This is probably going to be my last trade for the day as well, to be fair. I've had a really good day. Been very aggressive with stops today. The last one you could say was too aggressive, but when you run in, I didn't want to take any risks. I didn't have my software with me, so I couldn't just hit close half. So just doing everything manually, I hate. It's when you don't have access to your trade assistant, your magic keys, your Dane's trades, you don't realize how valuable they are until you don't have them. Right, what's everyone's plans this weekend? Nice long bank holiday weekend. 11 minutes for the news. Uh, So need it to move about another 7 points just so we can get our stops up underneath the low of this candle. ABBA socks, lovely. Absolutely beautiful there. Not been for years. Oh, okay. So gold has just had about a $7 move in a nanosecond. Yeah, gold's having a little pump, which isn't surprising considering where it is. But yeah, I'm not going to do anything with gold until we get above the 3,223, or we rotate higher and sellers come back into the marketplace. So it's a very, very simple process, guys. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see after yesterday's move on the indexes, we've seen some positive earnings reports there. I won't be surprised if we see another jump on the indexes, but will it go lower before it comes higher is the question. So we know how jittery they are at the minute. See what's going on see if there's any chat out there. Labor Day holiday, yeah, know that. Uh, Hopeful for progress with China on trade. Hasset, when was that? 13:20. Oh, 1 minute ago. So interesting. The and that's with an interview on CNBC. So as they're saying that, we're seeing market drop a little bit. Initial jobless claims and ISM manufacturing highlight the US economic calendar. So little sell-off ahead of the news. Where are you, Forex Factory? We've got 7 minutes for the unemployment claims and an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes for ISM numbers. Oh, dear me. Beautiful outside today. Absolutely beautiful. 7 minutes. Gold has jumped about $10 from what I can see. Maybe a little bit more. What was it? 3,201. $12. $12 in the last few minutes. Well, I think everyone's enjoying the sunshine today. There's not so many. A few of the usuals are missing today. I think Nigel's sunning himself in Marbella, although yesterday I don't think the weather was too good for him. Started off beautiful, as he said, and then got a message later on in the afternoon saying it was peeing down. So I was like, oh, well, it's beautiful here, Nigel. Well, looks like this one's just going to get clipped. Obviously, you don't want losing trades, but I don't mind because the reward was here. I mean, I am trading the indexes at half my normal risk at the minute, so 10 lots. So we clip that one. So now, if you are going to look at the index, I think right now you've got to wait until after the news. Gold, if we get a seller candle on the 15, we'll set up for another BPC. But I don't want to try and flog this chart too much. We've absolutely creamed gold today. Da, 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 da. All right, so just took a small loss there on the NAS. Um, what I see what I finished up with. Uh, $333. But okay, so bullish candle, another potential bullish candle here on the coming into COMEX. Now let's see what happens. Let's see what happens through this little space. If price comes back into here and does anything similar to what we saw there, guys, we're back on the shorts. So we're gonna sit tight. Remember, there's no trades on the DAX today. European bank holiday. Yen is continuing to sell off across the board. Usually, that's a very positive sentiment for indexes and for stocks. Um, so let's just gold's continuing to push, but so guys, if you wanted to trade gold, what would you wait for? Tell me how you would look to trade the BPC here. Should be a very simple explanation. Remember, news is coming out in 3 minutes, so don't have if you've got pending orders, guys, make sure you get them closed down. There's no point in having a pending order sat there through the news announcements. I know you'll see some people that like to put buy stops and sell stops either side the candles ahead of the news, but that's just gambling, guys. There's a lot of times you could get triggered in on both sides, and then you're screwed. The difference a few minutes can make. So don't be surprised if the market came down, spiked lower. I mean, look what happened yesterday. Came all the way down here just to grab some liquidity and then shoot back up. Um, I think so. Longs above 3,223, 3,224. Let's just drop that down in here. But also on the flip side, if we get another seller candle, could basically come into the equation, um, then we can go. But this, if we break the high of this big bearish candle, we could see a pretty hefty rejection from this daily support level. So there's going to be no. Uh, no. 15 minutes, guys. 145. We can potentially have another trade. Or what's that? Interesting. Uh, just joined bagged 60. What on the gold short I sent out in the channel? Nice one, Gandalf. The winner at the minute and entered again. When did you enter again? The winner at the minute is Peter Cole with 180 pips. With a close second, Peter Armand at 130. So we're going to look to sell this if we get a 15-minute bearish close. Let's have a look, see what the news has come out. 60 times 2. Gandalf, don't be getting greedy. Let's have a look. Unemployment claims are up as well. So they were forecasted at 224k. They've come in at 241k. So yesterday we're seeing some missed data from the US. So we've had ADP non-farm yesterday at 62k, which was pretty much half what the number was forecast. They were forecast 114k, so a huge miss. That was the biggest miss, and the lowest employment change, I believe, since June last year or July last year. Then we had advanced GDP quarter on quarter, which came in at negative 0.3 when it was forecast at 0.2. Employment cost yesterday came in as forecast, and then the core PC price index came in at flat and was forecasted to be up at zero point 0.1. So the US is missing on data right now. Um, Unemployment claims today was a miss. ISM manufacturing PMI is going to be another big one. Now they're forecasting at 48. Does anyone know the issue with 48 as a 48 or 49? Does anyone know the issue when it's coming in at those kind of numbers? Anyone know the issue when the data from the from the US economy is coming in at below 50 at 48, 49? Does anyone know the issue with that? No? Okay, so the issue with any of the data coming in below 50 means that the economy is in contraction. Anything above 50 means expansion, they're growing. So even if it beats expectation, and let's say it's 49.2, uh, it means that they're still in contraction. They're not expanding it. So it's a shrinking economy, which isn't good. So that would explain, when you look at things like GDP, you can forecast. So if the data is negative uh, for 3 consecutive quarters, let's say on GDP, you can basically say that your economy is in recession. Now, we've seen negative minus zero point 0.3 yesterday. I'm not sure what the previous. Let me just go back and have a look at the. Wednesday. Advantage. Okay. Uh, Jan. Okay, so the GDP for January was positive 2.3%. Uh, and this one's just come in at minus 0.3. So this is the first negative read on GDP. Ooh, on GDP since July 22. Yeah, July 22 was the last negative read on GDP, um, quarter on quarter. So not good results there from the US. Now, why would index potentially rise on bad data? Comes down to interest rates. So if the data's bad and they want to try and boost the economy, objective of the Fed will be to stimulate the economy by reducing interest rates to get the economy spending again. As they spend, what you'll find is share prices will start to increase. There'll be more borrowing. It'll reignite the economy, and therefore, what you'll tend to see is that stock prices will surge on the back of it. So, just sitting tight now, waiting for the NAS. See what happens here. But gold is it's $20 up from the lows in 23 minutes. If this, we could potentially have a change in structure. So what's going to happen here is we're either going to get a change in structure, meaning we get a close above, we can have a wick down, we buy the highs, or we're going to close above and then the next candle will then close back below the level. Either way, we could potentially have a trade in the next sort of 23 minutes. Is there anything that anyone's particularly watching? Uh, oh, let's have a look. Okay, guys, so just looking at the trading retreat, uh, for those of you that are thinking about the trading retreat in September, we could potentially do 17th, 18th, and 19th of September is what could look good. 17th, 18th, 19th. So all kids are back at school. We could do 3 nights away, and then you can get back on the weekend. So I'm going to look into that, guys, if that sounds good with everyone. Global market if actual forecast 48 market mirror less strongly, which for watch for technicals. Uh, Hold on. What you should do as trader or wait for actual number. Oh, we're not in. No. Um, we'll just trade price action. So regardless of news, the news will move ahead of time. I won't place a pending order um, on the basis of news, but we'll happily place a pending order 15 minutes before, 10 minutes before news. If it hasn't triggered, we'll close it down a few minutes before. But rules are rules, guys. I won't tell you how to do your setups, but basic fundamentals. Look, fundamentals will help. Um, Hey Sid, how you doing, mate? If actual is greater than forecast, e.g. 50 or more, USD may strengthen by USD and Forex. We don't trade currencies, but yes, and you'll probably find 50 or more is expansion. So look, if any data, the one thing I wouldn't do with data is I don't believe in fundamentals anymore. I used to trade a lot of fundamentals years ago, but now the markets are so heavily swayed by Trumponomics or whatever you want to call it, Trump economics, tariff wars. The markets are so heavily swayed, and institutions are positioned in a way that we have no idea. So you can see good data in the market drop. You can see bad data in the market rally. So I ignore all data now. Afterwards, I'll look at the data and see what happens, and look, I can try and rationalize it. But look, at the end of the day, none of us have any idea how markets are positioned. The closest you'll ever get to see how markets and institutions are positioned is by looking at the CFTC website. That's free data, it's futures data. You can see exactly how commercials are positioned, non-commercials, and non-reportables. When you look at that, then you can start to build up a position from a swing position. Day traders, look, fundamentals for me really don't give a damn. I'll just look at the market, look at the price action, trade accordingly. You're gonna take a hit. You're gonna have some winning trades, and on the basis over the course of time, I'll see positive results. Um, we are on the back of an absolute killer trade uh, in the community. So members, if you see the chat earlier, we just some of the members had over 100 pips on gold short, um, trading this little nice price action setup here. Some had 60, some had 150, 180. But at the end of the day, some might have just had 20. Horses for courses. Small wins consistently will grow big accounts. That's why I don't believe in being greedy. Um, it's going very well today, Sid. Thank you. We just took a small loss on the NASDQ, just preempting a bit of a momentum move uh, leading into the US Open. Um, on this break above structure here. Um, we killed it as it broke the lows of this 15-minute candle. So it was a negligible loss, but we've had 4 trades on gold today that have all printed quite nicely. One from the morning session, which was through here. This little setup, very similar to the one that we did here. So as you can see, we have this has changed because when you were in this morning, this was 3,249. So what we were looking for is we're looking for buys above a certain level, and other than that, we're looking for BPC trades to continue short. Now, because we're potentially closing above this, we can look for longs. But we're gonna wait 15 minutes. Now, I know some of you might have just traded this as an outside candle, engulfing candle, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna sit tight just because of how bearish this market's been and how far it's moved. Like yesterday when we did a similar setup to this, which was here. So if you look on the live trading days, we traded something similar here, which was an outside candle, but we traded it twice, once here and once here, preempting the move. We've literally sat right on the money here. Now down here, it's tested 32 with 240, 270 points from the low. So I don't want to be trading a or preempting the outside candle, which it's done, because where are you going to put your stops? Your stops are going to be miles away. So if we can close above this area and it stays there over the next 15 minutes without shooting off, then we get an opportunity. We'll just wait for the candle to close, wait for a wick down, we'll buy the highs and we'll look to trade it back up into the structure. Nice and simple, nothing too complicated. Hey Anna, how you doing, darling? You well? Nice to see you here. How was the meeting? We had a couple of trades in your coaching session this morning, didn't we? We had a DAX long and a gold short, both TPs, so that was nice. Um, but we'll just waiting to see what happens. So excuse the attire. I'd been for a run and went to the gym, and by the time I got back, I was waiting for gold shorts to set up. Uh, so I was just waiting at the gym before I could head back, and unfortunately, it meant that I didn't get time to get a shower or anything before I jumped straight on, so I had to go live, as I am. So I do apologise. Um, I've got a feeling gold's going to go without us, and if it does, it does. Yeah. Mm, I would like to have seen a bit more of a wick than what what you can see there. It's probably not even the spread. You can zoom in as big as you want. Yeah, no chance. Not taking that. Took gold on the 15. Ah, yeah, maybe. Well done, Simon. But a little bit, a little bit aggressive for my liking on this one. Just on the basis it's moved like, as I was just saying, it's gone what 270 points, and the wick down is probably not even the spread. Uh, Hourly would probably look the best for continuations higher, but you're gonna have to wait 13 minutes. So the ideal scenario here, guys, is this doesn't move much further. We get a wick down. I won't trade a flip here. No, 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 no. No flips here. Why will I not trade a flip here, guys? Yes, Simon, that's it. Against trend. So no, no, no flips on board here, guys. Okay. 10 minutes, guys. Right, just sitting here, guys, biding time, waiting for uh, waiting for the close. If it closes above this wick here, then that I would like that as a more positive sign as well. So 9 minutes, guys. I'm staying away from Nasdaq now. I don't like where it is unless it creates new highs. If it creates new highs, then we got options, but either that or I get a close below here. But knowing the Nasdaq, if it if it moves, it'll probably just drop like a stone. Or so my range to watch for trades on the Nasdaq are these: buys above, buys above 19910. Let's do 19911. And we'll look for sells below 19800. Where's the chat box gone? What does he say? Almost past my second 100k, need 2% for the first phase. Well done, Sid, mate. Keep it going. Loving these positive results. We've had a few payouts in the members this last month as well. So the members keep printing the cash. Frankie's had one payout. He's got another one very, very close. Who else have had payouts in the group? Peter Armand's had payouts. Anna's had payouts. Leon's had payouts. We're just waiting for the next. Waiting for the next. Who's going to be next to get a payout in our group? Who's going to be the next, guys? 7 minutes. Simon, you'll get there, mate. You'll get there. You put a little bit too much pressure on yourself, pal. We having a coaching session tomorrow? $29.70. Okay, cool. Let me know what time works for you tomorrow, mate. I've got a couple of. Do you want before work or do you want to do after work? Okay, long trade on gold. I'm not going to take here unless the wick's more. Let's do before. Yeah, what time? Do you want to do 5:30, something like that? And then I'll do a live stream at 6:30. Okay, so guys, tomorrow I'll do a live stream for the London session on YouTube at 6:30. I'll do a coaching session with Simon at 5:30. So if you're around tomorrow, guys, 6:30, pre-London, London Open. Look at this one, making moves. Still going. Pleasure, bud. No worries. Always try and help where we can. Anna, lovely. Um, I just realised. Uh, where's the uh, where's Mr. Global Markets Trader? I forgot to ask where he's based. He or she, sorry, that was rude, presumptuous. Nearly replaced the same M15 buy after the bigger wick down, but held off. Good man. Don't force anything. Uh, so Tanzania. Ah, been looking at Tanzania just recently. Cheers, buddy. I panicked then because I sometimes you can be a bit presumptuous. Yeah, just been looking at Tanzania. Some amazing safari place in Tanzania. Is literally last night was just looking at a few places. Never been, but we did safari in South Africa, and now the little one's getting to an age where we'd love to. And we've done South Africa. We've done safari in Sri Lanka, but obviously you don't get all the big five there. Yeah, I've been seeing, mate, the Instagram profiles. You've got the looks unbelievable where you see the giraffes, zebras, and people just having picnics right next to them. It looks like they're not wild. It looks like they're actually tame wildlife, really. Wildlife but tame, if that makes sense. At first, I thought it was staged, but then I've been seeing more and more of it everywhere I look. Okay, now this I'm not liking. This I'm seeing potential for more downside if we'll see what happens on the next candle. We'll see how it closes, but if it gets down here, potential to just look for continued BPCs. Yeah, problem though with the 15 Anna is we've broken this structure point here, so I don't want to look at it on the 15, even though my bias is shorts. Now what we've seen is, as soon as you see something like this could be the market giving us an early warning sign that the market is created a new high. It could come down, create a higher low, and then that could be the change. So as soon as you see a market structure change on a time frame, just remember when you see structures change, it's a little bit like looking at the second hand moves a lot faster than the minute hand on a clock, and the minute hand moves a lot faster than the hour hand. So when you start looking at the lower time frames, they move faster. So you're going to see them change structure a lot quicker than you will do on the hourly, and then the hourly will change structure much more quicker than it will do on the daily. So this is why it's important when you're looking at different time frames, just to be aware of where you see structure points. And if they have changed a bit, you're just going to have to sit tight and go, right, hold on a second, what happens here? So if this one now closes back below on, say, the 30, then what we've got here is like a mini false break to the upside and a resumption of the trend to the downside. Let's see how this one candle. If we can close back below here, next candle pushes up, we can sell the low of a bearish candle. So this is the art of patience. So market's going to open on the NASDQ in 27 minutes. So let's see what happens there, guys. See if we can get a further move, whether that's going to be on gold or whether not. The markets are going to move, but we'll just see. We're not fighting for anything right now. We've had a great day. Money's been banked. It's just a matter now of seeing if we can add a little bit of cherry on top. We've done the icing. Now can we add the cherry on top? Ah, shucks. Guys, bear with me 1 second. Someone's at the door. Even more annoying when it's not for me. Okay, 11 minutes for this 15-minute candle closure. See if we get back below it. If not, we'll leave it alone. I don't know. No point looking at the DAX. I'm just gonna. pound yen continues to head back north. Next structure's about 130 points away. Consolidation here, obviously you can see that on the daily, look quite nice for more moves. Now, because we've got above structure, I'd say a continuation. If this was at structure, then I'd be looking for it to rotate lower and come back. So I always, consolidation for me will always play out. It's just a matter of where it lies on the chart. Obviously, if there's a news element that wants to push it the opposite way because there's been something very positive or negative for the market that we're looking at, then obviously it can have the opposite impact that I would expect. But usually, consolidation, if it's in the middle of no man's land, expect the trend that it's currently in to continue in that move. Or if we're at some point of structure and you're seeing consolidation, what I'd usually expect is, let's say, if this was the resistance area like this, and let's say the market came up, and then you're seeing consolidation like this, it's doing this, I'd expect it to pop through first and then sink. That's what I'd look for. So I'd always look for the move to take out any sort of like breakout traders there, and then as it comes back down, that's the key to sell that move. So that's how I would look to trade consolidation at structure. Let's get rid of these. Okay, so gold is starting to pull back underneath the level. Oh, might not be able to last much longer on this live stream. Just drank 2 liters of water while I've been sat here, so we'll see. We'll see how long the bladder can hold. Apologies, guys, but nature may call. So if this holds, guys, we've got 7 minutes for this candle. If it closes like this, if it closes below this range, if the next candle pushes up, I'll sell the low of this and we'll look to try and run it back down into the lows. But if it holds the level, then I'm done for the day. Aaron, big night tonight, Mark. Quietly. Oh, don't, mate. It is a big night. I I listen. This season's been so shite. Um, if we can't beat Bodo Glimt, I mean, I know they're doing well in their respective league, but realistically, look, it should be chalk and cheese. The fact that we're not massively overconfident, I think, is bloody crazy. Um, that's I really don't know what's happened. This season has just really put me off football for a long time. But hopefully next year will improve. Yeah, it is a big night. It is a massive night. I'm gonna make sure I get my. The only downside, I know what it is. I know what the problem is. Isn't kickoff at 7? I hope it's not at 7, but I've got. Is it, oh no, 8 o'clock. Right, I'm getting the little one down before kickoff. That's for sure. It was coverage starts from 7. 5 minutes. Hmm. You know, guys, I'm not going to sell the low of this candle if it closes below. Just if we look at it, let's think what's happened. Let's replay and go through the structure and what we're seeing. So markets, obviously, we're seeing strong seller candles. Then we see a little bit of consolidation, another strong move, a little bit of consolidation, pullback. Then we start forming downrange candles again. Then we get a nice strong bearish outside candle, which then forms a strong bearish, bullish outside candle to the upside. So just off that one candle, you've got to think that maybe this downward move is potentially fading out a little bit, and we could be on the cards for a little bit of a correction. So when I looked at the 30, what I can see is we get a close above, market was here, and I said when we looked at the 15, we had a rejection candle, and then I said if this one closes below, if we get a wick up, I sell the low of that one. But what that would mean is you could sell the low of that one, and then it could still push higher without breaking the low of this and trigger. So if I was going to sell anything, I'd wait for the 30-minute candle. I'd want to see a 30-minute close back below the range, and then a push up, and then a move lower. The 15 in this instance would be a little bit eager and could probably get you caught in a trap. So I'd leave the 15 alone. Leave the 15 alone for the shorts. Uh, long trades is just getting scrappy. It's all pretty scrappy in here. And you know, you got these wick. I'd wait for. I'm going to go back to the original analysis this morning, guys. Don't think it's changed. This is just a little bit too scrappy. So I'm going to put it back to 32.49. Uh, so I'm going to look for maybe the market to push into this area. If we get a 30-minute seller candle here, then we could look for BPCs and continuation shorts. So anywhere in this range here, we're going to look for BPCs with a 30-minute bearish closure, wick up, sell the lows. Because we've got a nice clean candle range here to trade into. Um, we'll put buys above 3249.1. Now, like I said, I'm probably done for the day. But I'm just going to see what happens on the US Open at 2:30. Right, who else has just jumped in? I see a few more people have just jumped into the live stream. It's been a bit quiet today, guys. Not really much happened while we've been on the live stream. The big trade happened just before the live stream, and unfortunately, we can't time it when it happens. This was the setup. We got sells in here. Um, you know, ultimately, we just trade when we do. But this occurred at what 12:15, so I couldn't fast forward the live stream. I was out running at the time. So, you know, I did what I could. I shared it with the members in the members channel. And some of the guys took 180, 130, some took 60 pips. So it's been it was a great trade to let's say start the US pre-US session. But yeah, unfortunately, for the live stream, there's not been a lot going on. Any questions, guys? Uh, no, no questions. All good. Okay, well, guys, I'll wait 14 minutes, um, or maybe one. Yeah, go for it, Anna. I like it when the questions come in because it gives me something to gives it a bit of engagement, keeps me alive while there's nothing going on the charts. Could you put NASDAQ on again? Yeah, sure. Yep. So happy to look for longs on breakouts above 19,911. And then just in case there's a correction, if we get a close below 19,800, I look for sells. We're just looking for clear candle space. And look, one thing we can say is there's clear candle space there of 430 pips, so we'll have some of that. Always look for where the clear candle space is. Doesn't mean you're going to get a winning trade, but it just sort of gives you a little bit of an edge, increases the probability of success should it drop through that level, you know? If you're not seeing clear candle space, stay away from it. That's why I just decided to change my mind on gold, that I'm not going to look for longs on gold unless we get above 32.49. Had it have been a little bit lower in here and not spiked up so high, then there could have been an opportunity for longs. But no, now I'm just gonna leave this alone. Longs above here, and then in the meantime, if we can get a setup on the sell side, fantastic. We'll look for a setup. But other than that, there's not a lot really going on. It's just we've got to sit here, be quiet, be patient. If anyone's taken any trades, you can send them in. Let's have a look. Uh, Yeah, it's quiet, isn't it? We'll get 12 minutes and then I'm calling it a day, guys. 12 minutes and calling it a day. So, Aaron, who are you thinking tonight then, mate? You got you got faith in the mighty Spurs? A clean sheet. Bloody hell. That would be a result. Bet you get good odds on that. A clean sheet for Spurs. Let's have a look. Log in. Uh, okay. Uh, oh, not that good. 7 to 1. I thought it'd have been better than that, but never mind. Um, ooh, let's see what's going on. 10 minutes. Now, if this candle breaks the low of the bullish candle in the next 10 minutes, and then we get a wick up, then there's a trade. Because if we look at that, that would be a false break. That's 9 minutes. This is why we have to wait for the candles to close, because they can just change in an instant. 1 minute they're looking bearish, 1 minute they're looking like they're going to close below. The next minute, guess what? It's a bullish candle and it's breaking the highs. And the possibility, the thought of a trade has just passed us by. A bit like April. Don't feel like April happened. That month just flew by. And this one's going to be just as quick with 2 bank holidays. Uh, what we got? 8 minutes. Uh, uh, and there we go. Look at it. It's moved again. I don't think we're going to see. I don't think we're going to get the sell trade here. Let's see what's going on with. Okay. Let's see what happens. I'm not doing any. Won't do a momentum entry now. Wait for it to close above. If it closes above, then we can look for an order afterwards. Um, yeah, gold's. No, I don't think we're going to get a trade here, guys. To be fair, but like I said, I'll stick around till 2:30 just to see what happens. But if we don't get it, then so be it. We'll come back tomorrow morning, nice and early. Be with Simon from 5:30. So if at 5:30 anything sets up while I'm on with Simon, I'll share it in the members channel, and then we'll see you live on YouTube at about 6:30, guys. So 6:30 British summertime, BST. God. 4.5 minutes, guys, and then we'll wrap it up. But I can't see anything happening. Let's have a look, see what's going on with the old dollar index after its mini meltdown. So, so dollar index. To be fair, this isn't something that I would ever use anymore. And the reason for it is because it's so heavily weighted to the euro that it's basically like an inverted euro chart, and then you've got the dollar Swiss chart, which is pretty similar as well. So if you look at this, if I turn this, let's go to a line chart. So the blue line is the dollar index. Now let's just go and add in, we'll add, let's add euro dollar. There we go. So euro dollar, you can see euro dollar is the pink or burgundy line. Now let's add in dollar Swiss, and you'll see how so euro dollar and dollar Swiss mirror each other. Then you look at the dollar index, it basically mirrors dollar Swiss. It doesn't mirror it, it follows it, sorry. So you got euro dollar, which is, so you don't even need to look at the dollar index. It's basically just dollar Swiss or euro dollar. So it doesn't make sense. If you want to look at dollar strength or dollar weakness, the best thing to do is pull up all the dollar pairs, look at them individually, and then do like you can either create a strength map by marking on, say, swing highs and swing lows, and then plotting them and seeing which ones creating higher highs, higher lows, and give it a score of 1 or however you want to do it, 1 and 0. Then you add up all the ones at the end of the week and see which, and you can see how the market's moving from a strength basis. But yeah, dollar index is not something that you need to look at now. But you can see that basically we're at a structure point where in theory we should start to see some dollar strength. Um, massively stretched on the other open side. But all right, let's get rid of these now while we're just about a minute away from the open, and we're not seeing anything here. Yeah, we're not going to see anything here. If it's going to move, it's going to be an impulsive move. So we're not going to get a breakout set up here, unfortunately. So you're going to have to wait for a close above or close below. On the open, you may just find it just goes without you either way. So we'll wait. Gold, no setup here, guys. So I am done for the day, but I am just gonna see what happens on the open. Uh, oh, hold on. We need a positive result, otherwise scary in Norway. On a macro level, gold sells still makes sense. Yep. I'm retired now. What's what's 5:30? What's 5:30? Love it. The best moves are happening in Asia for the last month. Yeah, I stayed up last night as well. I was up till 1 and then I was like, I couldn't keep my eyes open any longer, so I hit the sack. And then when I woke up at about 5:30 this morning, I'd seen that gold had dropped $58. I was like, yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, all the moves are happening between sort of like 1 and 3 a.m. The big moves anyway. But all right, there we go. The market is open. Let's see what's going on. Andrew, yeah, see you all in the morning. Bye, guys. Yeah, take care, Andrew. Here comes the gold. So we are favoring sells no matter what on gold. Um, I will trade longs, but it has to break structure. So sells, we're just looking for BPC shorts with seller candle continuation lower. Obviously the 3212 that was this morning. Um, we've tapped 3200 now, so obviously we've got more scope to go to the downside. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up now, guys. There's nothing for me. I've got a few things to do now, but what I'd look for is if you get a candle closure underneath here, a wick up, sell the low of the bullish candle, unless this bearish candle takes out the low of the bullish candle. Yeah, cheers, guys. Have a great evening. Come on, you Spurs. It's been a quiet session. Can't do much about it. Do apologize, but we have to wait for the markets. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow morning. Cheers, buddy.